I'm like, okay, let me adjust myself. Okay.
Look at the queen here. She's already
Know
just
what
getting
the
ready.
queen is. I don't know the queen of talking shit. I don't know because that's what I'm good for. So. That's what I do best. So
Oh gosh. Well,
it
guys,
is what
thank
it
you for
is.
tuning in to the first inaugural. Let me say it again, inaugural, like debut, like first interactive live stream of Georgina stripping the dipping with your boy, co-host, of course, AMG Denz, aka Chocolate Superman. And
Oh yeah.
listen, we've got us an amazing guest to join us for the first inaugural live episode. She's the queen of F1 Twitter and personally my team principal.
I
Shout
don't.
out for Team LH and obviously as well the new team principal of Mercedes whenever Toto
That
steps down.
you know what? I'm fine with that role. I am fine with it. If I could take out my anger on somebody, I'm good with it. So let's do it.
Literally, I think Nilly will be like the new Gunter Steiner. But having said that, yeah,
Hey, I'm good.
welcome to the show, Nilly. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Finally, you guys been doing a
Oh,
great job.
oh, why thank you. You know, you've always supported us, and I think as well, Georgina's always said that you've had a lot of input and just been so supportive with us doing the
Hey,
like audio podcasts. So
hey,
yeah,
it is what
great
it
to have
is,
you.
right? Cool. Let's do it.
Hey, okay, so Nilly, I'm gonna start off with the first question I'm gonna put on the screen. What got you into watching F1?
Good question. I'm a major car person as it is. I love cars. But I actually started watching Le Mans first,
Okay.
and it just kind of trickled from there. I was in Germany for a super long time. Well, not super long time, like probably like 8 months, and this was like back in 2015 ish, and I figured it out from there. And
Hey.
that shit is the best. Oh my god, I am so happy because I only eat, breathe, sleep F1. So I watched Le Mans, even though it showed me the way, but I got in right when Lewis was, at his, you know, just coming
His
in. And
peak, and he's still at his peak. Let's add
he's
that in
always
there
gonna
as
be at
well.
his peak. I don't care if he's in last place. He's still gonna be at his peak. So
Definitely. I mean, how do you win eight? I'm gonna say eight world championships. You know,
eight,
in a way and fashion he's
get
done.
it right,
It's
people. It's eight. I'm looking straight into
damn
the camera.
right.
It's eight. So
We love it. We love it. Well,
yeah.
thank you for that as well, Nilly. And another question I wanted to get into. Your encounter with Valtteri Bottas. Now, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, and I hope I'm not going to incriminate myself either.
Oh.
So I can share the screen, and I have voila, Nilly with
Oh, so sweet. Yeah.
the porridge bus. Like, how did this happen? And could you explain just
Um,
what it was like to meet him in person?
he actually, I think, what was this? 2019, I think it was. And you could tell by the comment, the caption on it, it's like, oh, thanks, guys. Like it sounds so innocent, but um, he was super nice. I went to some event in LA and he was there. And so I was standing there and I wasn't doing anything. I actually was on a phone call for work and he came up to me. He told me to come around the gate and he told me to come up and take a picture with him. He spent like 10 minutes with me. He was the nicest guy in the world. I love that guy. He's such a good dude. He is exactly what you think and then some. He's actually better in person and he's very shy, but just a really nice guy. So, yeah, it was a
Oh,
good time.
listen, we love obviously Valtteri Bottas,
Yeah.
porridge boss. You know, he's always there with his coffee or with his porridge or some sort of thing. I think him and Tiffany
Hmm.
Cromwell were like advertising some new alcoholic beverages in Australia, which is crazy.
I saw that. It's called like Oak. Wait, no, something like that.
Mm,
No, Oath or something. Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, crazy man. Well,
All
nearly. I mean,
right.
on the topic of that as well, like, are there any Grand Prix you're going through to this year, or is there any kind of dream races you're looking forward to going to in the future?
So this year I'm going to Coda, and I don't know, another one's up in the air. I actually did have Miami tickets, but I sold them. So
No.
oh, I don't care. I really don't care. So it's okay because
Okay.
I did better things with the money. So, but next year I'm going to Coda, Vegas, Miami, Silverstone, and depending on what, it's going to be another one as well. So just this year, kind of, you know, keeping it to one or two. So we'll see.
Hey, one or two is still better than watching it from the TV, which is what I've only done in my entire life. So,
Right.
listen, and
Aren't
I'm
you
sure you're
going
gonna
to
be there.
Silverstone?
I know the tickets were sold out before I could even get there.
Oh hell no! Come
Tickets
on.
were already sold. So yeah,
Oh
probably be
my
a next year
god.
thing. But hopefully I can make it happen. Well, Nilly, in the
Yeah.
next segment of the show, as I like to call it, is the roast. And this is literally just a section for you, obviously the listeners as well, tuning in, just to kind of get off your chest something that's really annoyed you recently. So for me in F1, what's really pissed me off lately has been like the Sky Sports coverage and the likes of like Nico Chatty Patty Losberg. Just like going in on Lewis and saying, "Oh, Lewis should be performing better. Oh, Lewis just got out qualified by George. Oh, George isn't like, a leader." But then the next day you was sucking him off and like, "Oh, well, he's like the next leader of Mercedes." And I'm like, dude, so yeah, like what has there been anything recently in F1, the world of F1 or F1 Twitter that's like got you just like angry and you wanna blow some steam?
I'm like trying to crack my knuckles as I'm
Oh
thinking.
yeah.
Where do I begin? I hate the fans.
Whew.
Okay.
Preach it.
I hate the fans. I don't care. I hate them. I hate you guys. I don't care. Um, I hate negative people, regardless of who they like. I don't like negative people. I'm sick and tired of who is it? Help me out, Denz. It's like Paul DeResta, Will Buxton. Um, who else is it? It's like that whole Sky crew. I am so over them. Oh my god, I hate them. I hate is a strong word, and let me be the spokesperson for it because I cannot stand them. I love Sam Collins. I love the guy. He's great, but I'm sick and tired of them. I mean, I do hate, I hate using the word hate, but I have to use it here, but I hate Marco with his
Oh gosh, that
with his
guy.
cockeye. I don't care. I don't like it. I don't like him. I don't
He
like
looks
him.
evil, doesn't he? He looks like an
He's
evil
just
kind of like
he's just
guy in like a
cool.
movie.
I don't like him. Horner is losing his mind. It's just Nico Rosberg. Don't even get me started on that guy. He's just so sad that he's not Lewis's friend anymore. Like it just, I don't know. The list is so long for me. I don't even know where to begin. Where do
That's
I
exactly
begin?
it.
Explain to me. Where do I begin with who I hate the most?
This is the thing as well, and it's so hard because like I get it. Like at times you're gonna try and give the other drivers some light. It's not like the Lewis Hamilton show as much as we like it to be that. But nah, like the way that they're trying to like go off on Lewis, like he hasn't achieved anything in his career when the guy's the most successful driver statistically and just in
Right.
reality. And yeah, just the way they go on about him is so disrespectful and distasteful. And it's like they're trying to kick a man down when he's on the ground. And we won't
Yeah.
have that at Team LH. So yeah, just I think they just need to do a lot better. I was hoping that Naomi Schiff would probably just on the side, try and make things better. But I understand as well she's completely new to the Sky team. Maybe
It
she
doesn't
doesn't want to.
matter. What are you talking
Mm,
about? What do you mean? It's like, oh, I get it. No, 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 no. You don't sell yourself for money. I mean, I don't
true.
know if that's the case, so I don't want to make this statement. And I mean, but just not cool. Just not
Yeah,
cool.
I
Just not
agree.
cool.
I agree. And then people were like trying to get on to Lewis as well for the whole DRS train. Like, oh,
Hell no. They
exactly.
better not. Do not speak of Lewis. If you're not a fan, do not speak of the man. Don't do it. Do me a favor and just don't.
Mm,
Just don't. Like, I don't care if he's stuck in whatever he is. Don't. Don't. I
exactly.
just don't. Leave him alone.
And then you got the likes as well of like flipping Roman Grosjean, that crispy nugget, that a French baguette, trying to make YouTube videos saying the end of Lewis, like it
That
wasn't the
guy,
end of him.
that guy, I don't even know where to begin with that one.
And he got cooked in IndyCar yesterday too, but we'll touch on that.
He just he's gone for a reason, right? So
Mm.
he's gone. And there was a comment. I'm not gonna say who said it because I don't want to get him roasted. They said that his what was it? His ashes were left at turn 12 or something like that. You know who you are.
Whoo!
And you know
Whoo!
what?
Oh, jeez,
Woo! Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh,
Okay.
and let's not forget Alonso too. I don't like his comments either. That guy, he's never gonna win a championship. So
A
again,
retirement plan. A retirement plan. We just have to just
sorry
like.
guys. I know everybody's a big fan, but I'm not. Whatever. We move. Yeah.
Oh gosh, and Paul di Resta didn't even get a podium either. So like, I don't know why he's there. He's just like another failed Mercedes reject. Didn't even make it to the big leagues, and now he wants to talk about our guy. Never,
Move
never.
along. Move along. It's like you talk about him. I will go after your parents. Go after your gardener, your pool cleaner. I don't care who it is. I'll go after everybody. Just don't mess with me.
And this is
Don't.
why Nilly's the queen. She don't have it from nobody. So we love to
Well,
see the energy.
I'm trying to figure out where this. I don't know what I'm a queen of, so I'm like, I'll just go with the queen of, being a bully on Twitter. I'm fine with that.
Listen, but it's not even bullying though. Like, did you see that McLaren? Another thing that we'll talk about briefly before we get into
Oh
the other
yeah.
segments of the show. Do you remember that whole KE McLaren thing about that girl that kept like trying to bully Lewis and was talking crap about like him? And then McLaren were like, "Oh yeah, no, we're gonna investigate it." And she's an employee that works at McLaren, making derogatory statements about another driver on the grid. Are these guys crazy?
I'll be honest with you. What the hell was she thinking? Like,
This is what I mean. People are too comfortable.
where are they hiring these kids from? From like, like the mall? Are they going to the mall and picking these kids up?
Must be, must be,
And that's
because
a shame. I love McLaren, like, but are they serious? It's okay. I hope she's gone. I don't care if
they
she
have to get
loses
rid of
now.
her. They have to like that. You know how much of a PR nightmare that is.
That's sad. It's actually sad because they're trying so hard. So
And the thing is, as well, is like, especially McLaren, you know how rich that is? Bear in mind, Lewis gave them their last world title and they want to chat crud on Lewis. What?
imagine the irony of this all, right? The irony of this all. This is the irony.
Jeez. They're crazy. They're crazy. Well, listen, we're a positive space here, obviously, with stripping, the dipping, and that, and obviously our community. So let's move on to the next segment of the show.
All right.
So that is guess the word. So for our listeners at home, you'll be able to participate in this section as well.
Oh Lord.
Georgina has given me and Nilly, like privately, 5 words, and I have to guess what Nilly's words are, and Nilly has to guess what my words are. And if
Oh
we get
shoot.
the correct answer on each of those, then we get a point. And the winner is the person to get to 5. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So Nilly, I'll let beautiful ladies go first. Did you want to give me a hint as to what the first word might be that I need to try and get?
So basically, basically you're gonna guess the word that I'm trying to describe to you, right?
That's it.
All right. Where do I begin with this? Short man syndrome. How about that?
That has to be Yuki Tsunoda, no?
No, poor guy. No,
Come on, he's like the shortest guy on the grid.
that's poor guy. Okay, no. Okay. Um, basically, Drive to Survive.
Christian Horner.
There you go. I had to be really nice
Hey.
about it because this could be. I don't want to be known as like the most angry person on Twitter. So
No, you're
yeah,
not, Nilly. Nah, less of
oh,
that.
it's
You're not.
okay. It's okay if I am. So I don't care. It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. Like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let me pick my first word for you. I've got it in a spreadsheet because, as we know, Georgina loves to send me a lot of stuff.
I know. I did. I had to scroll up too.
Okay, so the other question, or your first one's gonna be, how do I say it without making it too easy for you? Num 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 num. Hmm. His dad's a famous racing driver. Very famous racing driver.
Mick Schumacher.
God, that Nilly, that could have been anyone. How'd you get it so quickly?
He's the
Damn it.
first one. I mean, if we're talking about real drivers, I guess.
No, true. I guess you got Michael Schumacher, you've got Damon Hill and his dad Graham. I was gonna say Rosberg, but you know, he lost some stripes with us at the beginning of the episode, so nah, we're not
Yeah.
gonna put him in there. But yeah, no, fair enough. Okay, cool. All right. So
All right.
next question, go for it.
All right. Well done. He basically they're well done.
The well, as in like steak?
He's well done. He was well done in a fire.
Oh, crispy nugget boy. Oh, nuggets. Mr. French baguette. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Roman
Got it.
Grosjean. By the way, did you see that thing? Yesterday, he was trying to overtake another driver called Graham Grehel. He completely dive bombed the crap out of the little poor dude. And then Graham Rahul, the other
Yeah,
IndyCar driver,
yeah.
was just like super angry. He's like, oh my God, I'm going to punch Grosjean. I was like,
Somebody needs to
jeez.
do it. Can somebody do it? I mean, I
Listen,
wouldn't
we don't
mind.
promote violence, but sometimes it's a necessary
I
cause.
don't promote it, but
Sometimes it's
sometimes,
necessary.
I mean, that's up to them.
Listen, we're not accountable for anybody's action. So
Right.
it is what it is.
That's
Okay
what I'm
then. All
talking
right.
about.
So your next one is okay. How do I make it? Hmm. So free. It's it. How do I say it without giving it away? Okay. It's an acronym of three letters, and it begins with a D.
DTS.
Ooh, close. No, no, but nearly. Begins with a D.
DRS.
Hey, there we go.
All right.
DRS.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. I got a little clammy there. You know, I was like, oh,
What
what's
could it
going
be?
on? Yeah. So, all right. Your turn is. Oh, this one's so easy. The greatest in the sport.
Oh, come on. The GOAT. Mr. Lewis. Sir. No, not even. It's Sir Lewis Hamilton, actually. Facts.
There you go.
Posters, if you couldn't see. But yeah, all right. Cool,
There you
cool,
go.
cool, cool. All right. Next is yours, which is. This is a good one. Thank you for this one, Georgina. Okay. I only have one word for this one. Nutella. So what I have to say.
What is it?
Nutella.
Oh, oh God, Latifi.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course. Mr. Crash TV, Mr.
Oof,
Mr. Ruin It for everyone.
oof.
God
Mm-mm.
damn. Okay. You next.
All right. Next one is. All right. You can't touch the wing when this is going on. You can't touch the wing. Period. But this happened last year.
Can't touch the wing. Is it like the Max Verstappen fine penalty malarkey in Brazil?
You're around there. It's a certain regulation where you can't do anything to the car.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Park Ferme.
Good job.
Hey, we love to see it. Okay, cool. And you guys are quite on the ball as well in the comments too. Everyone's getting it correctly, so
I
that's nice
know.
to see. Okay. Ooh. How am I gonna do this one? Think of a Brazilian.
Think of a Brazilian.
Yeah, the first Brazilian that comes to your mind.
Senna.
There we
All right.
go.
There you go.
Georgina, you made these too easy, man. God
I
damn
know. She's like, oh, what's the next letter after A and B?
it.
Dr. Ob said that he thought I can't touch the wings. That kind of sounds that sounds about right too. You can't do that. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
it is right though.
Okay, you.
That's funny. All right. Okay, I'll give you okay. Mustache, Indy, and F1.
Oh, Nigel Mansell.
Got it.
Hey, I
Got
said
him.
it with so much chest as well. I was like, ooh, am
Got
I
him.
right?
Got him.
Hey,
That's what I'm
okay.
talking about.
All right, cool. Well, I think we're at sudden death, so it's gonna be the first person now out of the remaining ones
All
to
right.
get it wrong or to like not know what the answer is, like to forfeit basically. So okay, next one for you. Okay, it's it's a sport.
It's a sport.
It's a sport.
Formula One.
Yeah, yeah. Just there was no other way I could really think about doing it other than yeah.
um. Okay. Wait, did I get that right? I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
sure.
you did. That was
Oh,
correct, by
cool,
the way.
cool, cool, cool. Okay. How about okay? Let's I'm gonna just do one that she didn't give me. So how about that?
Okay, off the
Okay.
color.
All right. Hold on. I'm trying to. Okay. Actually, I'll just go off of what she told me. Okay. Shui.
Oh, come on, man, Mr. Honey Badger.
There you go. But then
Hey,
again, it could have been anybody that's done a Shui with him.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That would have probably caught me out, to be fair. Well,
Yeah.
okay. So,
But that
okay.
was too easy again.
It's hard though to kind of make it not. Hmm. Okay, cool. Okay.
How about we just shake on it and tell her to deal with it?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
like, let's do sudden death until somebody gets it wrong. Like, let's just do it that way. Um,
Yeah, let's do that.
hmm. Out of all the teams currently on the grid, they've been on the grid the longest.
Ferrari?
Yes, spot on, spot on.
Ferrari?
For
All right.
like,
Then who's the second longest?
out of the set that are there, I'd probably say Mercedes, no? Because they had a stint in the 50s with Sterling Moss and Juan Manuel Fangio as well. So I would
But
have
with
said,
not with any brakes though.
yeah, no, they had the drum brakes and like the weird helmets with the goggles and stuff like that. Like, that's a
What
pretty
about
cool era.
Williams? Could it be Williams?
I
I
think
was gonna say
Williams came in the 17s. I think it was the 70s or 80s, no?
they did.
When they had Australian guy. What's the name of the Australian dude? I'm gonna see. We should have done it this way.
We're both.
Oh gosh.
Oh
Okay,
my
cool.
god.
All right, your turn. You go next.
Uh. Okay. Oh. Okay. The driver that threw up in a helmet.
Mark Webber.
Damn it.
I've heard that story so many times
One
as
of my
well.
favorite stories ever, and I don't know why, but it was such a interesting story. It was such an interesting. I was just watching that race again, and I was like, why? Why was poor guy? Like why?
Why is this happening to me? But not even that. Like, apparently he threw it up in the helmet, but he was still challenging for a podium at that stage. And then Sebastian Vettel crashed into him, which is so. Imagine you'd gone through the motions of being sick in your own racing helmet. You're challenging for a podium, and then you get wiped out by your teammate.
That would have been. I can't even imagine what that car looked like. I feel so bad for whoever did it.
Oh gosh, I can imagine.
I
Okay,
swear.
Nilly, let me get the next one for you. Ooh, okay. He recently got married. That's all I'm gonna give you.
He recent. Oh God, the person who blocked me, is it Buxton?
Oh, he blocked you.
Oh yeah, he blocked me.
What?
He blocked me.
Why did he block you? What did you say to him?
I don't think I should say it on here. So
Okay, keeping it family friendly. So,
yeah, we got to keep it a little friendly. So yeah, he blocked me. So everyone's like, "Oh, did you hear what he said?" I was like, "No," because he blocked me. So that's that. So
oh gosh. I'm gonna look at the comments as well. Rory said Magnussen. Has Magnussen never been sick in his helmet? Oh yeah, no, the marriage question. Maybe. Because I
oh,
think
that's true. Well, yeah. Did
did
he
he
just get
recent
that? No,
because I know he's got a baby. They bring and then that's so cute as well. I just love seeing
that
them
is
at the
cute.
track as
I
well.
know. I know. That is cute.
And then Jay's asked, "Is Mark Webber a nice guy?" I'm come see come saw with Mark.
Me
I
too.
think he's okay, but the detractors for me and him is he still has ties to Red Bull. So anytime he's like a interviewer or somebody that comes on to do the interviews with the drivers, there's always a bit of shade if it's not Max or if it's not Perez.
Mhm.
And then secondly of all as well, yeah, just like meh. I think he's very honest. That's the one thing I will give Mark Webber. But having said that, you will see a different side to him. And maybe the only thing
I
I really
know.
respect
I
him
know.
for as well as when like Red Bull put all of their eggs in one basket with Seb and he was essentially the number two driver, he just stood his ground. And I think I remember the whole Seb multi 21 Seb supposed to
Oh my
supposed
God.
to
Yes. Oh my God. I didn't mind him for being a Red Bull driver. He's all right.
bearable. I think he was bearable, and this is before they were toxic, toxic, toxic,
Yeah.
toxic.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. Mary said, "Says I'm drinking spelling mistakes. Hey, cigars, drinks. It's a chilled out zone here. Love to see it."
We're fine.
Mary also said Jensen Button. How many times has Button been married? Like, I
Well,
swear he's on to his like
four
fourth
times
wife
I
now.
just got married. Oh, he did. He just get married, didn't he?
I swear he got married like
A
back
1,000 years ago. Yeah.
exactly. Man, he's out here sourcing. I can't lie.
Man.
Uh,
Okay.
Rory said Weber has got links to Porsche as well. Yep, yep. I think he's won a couple of endurance championships at Le Mans as
He
well
does.
with
Huh?
Porsche.
Yeah. That's right.
So that's true. Okay. Let me ask your next one. Ooh, okay.
Okay. I'm scared. Okay.
All right. The driver. that replaced. Can I say replaced? Yeah, kind of. I think he did replace him. The driver that basically replaced Ayrton Senna at Williams after the tragic event.
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose this one. I'm gonna lose this one because somebody actually was talking about this and I said it wrong during a space and I was embarrassed. I'm gonna give up. I think I lost this one.
Come on, Nilly, no, dig deeper, dig
Hold on,
deeper.
hold on, hold on. I'm like, hold on. Let me grab my phone real quick. Hold on, hold on, hold
No,
on.
you can't use your
I'm like,
cheater.
yeah. Hold on, hold on. I'm thinking. Hold on. Let
Doing
me
a Michael
know.
Massey, trying to cheat in the background.
I'm like, oh yeah. Man, I give up. I don't even want to think because I'm like,
Come on, Damon Hill.
oh
Damon
god.
Hill.
That's probably why I don't want to remember because I don't like him. So
Yeah, he's a bit meh, meh.
I know I should have known that, and I said I had the same reaction last time, so that's my excuse. It's
Mm,
Manzel. What? Wait, where's
no,
she?
Mary saying it's Mansell close, but it's Damon Hill. At least
Yeah.
that's how the answer was supposed to be, anyways. Okay, we've done guess the word, which was pretty cool, and it was nice to see the interactions as well. Let's move on to the next segment, which is 5 random questions. So I'm gonna ask Nilly some random questions. Some of them are gonna involve drivers. Nilly, when you pick a driver, you cannot use the same driver again for
Oh,
any of
you
the
guys are doing this
questions.
to me? Oh Lord. Okay. All right. All right.
So yeah, so the first one is taxi chill avoid. So imagine this. So you have to basically take a taxi drive into the city because you're gonna have like, well, I'm not gonna say a date because you're in a relationship, but you're gonna chill. You're just gonna chop it up with one of the drivers. And on the way to the dinner table, you see another driver which you completely want to avoid. What is your taxi driver, chill driver, and avoid driver? And let's see what the people in the comments are gonna say as well in relation to this question.
Okay. I taxi would be Perez.
Ooh, cool, cool, cool. Mr. Tire
Chill.
observation, tire
Yeah.
conservation.
At least I know I won't have to be pulled over for a pop tire because he knows how to, you know.
Look after them.
Yeah. Chill. I would go with.
Remember, whoever you pick for this, yes, you
I know
can't
that's
use
gonna.
them for anything else.
Oh my god. Now I'm like clammy. I'm like, ooh.
Oh, sweet, mom, spaghetti.
Denz, why am I like drawing a blank? Who's in what team now?
It happens though, because there's so many drivers these days.
You know what? I actually would go with Zoe.
Ooh,
He
Joguan,
seems
you.
like a very mellow kind of guy, kid, whatever he is.
I'll
I
go
don't
for
know.
that. It's a good
And
shout.
avoid Alonso. Can I just use Alonso for any bad? It's fine.
Yeah, like Alonso just gets a pass on everything. So fair enough. Okay, let's look at the comments on this one as well.
How about you,
Du-du-du-du-du-du.
Dance? What about you? You need to
Ooh,
give your answers too. How about that?
okay, fair enough. Taxi, I'll probably say Ocon just because he seems like a really chill dude and
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
just so awesome. And I think like we're quite similar in age as well, so I think we'd be able to relate to each other. Chill, you gotta pick Lewis Hamilton. Well, for me anyway, I gotta pick Lewis Hamilton, but that's because I know the rest of the questions. So I'm gonna pick Lewis to
Oh,
chill
damn it. Okay, all right.
and avoid Latifi. Can't stand that guy. Like he on top of that as well, I definitely wouldn't have him like driving the taxi because he probably crashed that too. So
Oh, you
I'm
won't
gonna
even make it past the parking lot, man. Forget about
so yeah, I'm gonna completely avoid Latifi there. So yeah, okay. So J Starship said Hill is weird. Yeah, Hill is a bit weird. Just
He's a
sometimes
freak.
I think he tries to support Lewis, and then other times I
I'm
yeah.
confused on him. I don't know what to. I overall, I just right now, Sky is just
Meh.
toxic right now.
Is this man? I agree with you. Mary said Lewis Nilly. Yeah. Like Mary's trying to make you pick Lewis from early, but I'm guessing you're trying to save him for the
I'm
later
trying to
rounds.
save him in case they're like, you know,
Something a good question comes up. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
J Starship's taxi of chill and avoid was Leclerc. Okay, so George Russell taxi, cool. Chill with Leclerc. Leclerc would be pretty funny to chill with. That guy, the
I
kid's
love that
so
guy. I
random.
actually really like him. So,
Have you seen that clip of him in the zoo and he's running away from a monkey?
boy, this guy
So,
is
it's
so.
just so random,
The poor guy is just so. I don't even know what he is. He's
all
lost.
over the place. He really
He's just
is.
lost. Yeah,
Sometimes you think he's Italian by just how crazy he is, although he's Monegasque. So
I
yeah.
know. Yeah.
And then Jay said Norris, and I kind of understand that one too with Norris because I think he's a good kid, I
I don't
just
like
think
him. I don't like him.
I think he's got that typical like British sense of humor of him being like quite sarcastic and
I
like
don't like him.
salty, you know,
He-
like
yeah, I don't like him. I think it's more because I mean I know everybody's gonna bash me for this, but I'm a Danny Rick fan, so I just
mm. Hey, well, you and Rory are on the same page as well.
I
Speaking of
know
Rory,
that's why I always tell Rory, I'm like, Rory, don't worry, I'm there with you. So
hey, love to see
at
it.
least somebody likes him, right? So
Yeah, that's true. Although I guess Rory also likes goat. Nah, you can't use the word goat and Latifi in the same sentence. If Latifi was a goat, he'd be curry goat. Like that's the only purpose.
you
It's
said
the,
curry goat. Oh,
he'd
oh
only
my
be curry
god.
goat. Like that
This
guy, he's
guy.
just not ready yet. Like nah, like
This
that guy just needs
guy.
to dip. He just needs to
Friggin'
dip.
Denz. You're wild.
It's the truth though. Like I can't
Yeah, he
stand
is.
him.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second question. So, Nilly, you have to pick a hot lap ride, and so you're gonna like take a taxi ride around the circuit. Which circuit would you pick, and which driver would you pick? So bear in mind now, you can't pick Perez, you can't pick Zhao, and obviously you wouldn't pick Alonso anyway. But circuit driver, who'd you pick?
This is hard. Oh, this is really hard. Um, I would go with. This is. Damn it. This is hard. Okay. I would do because I'm still trying to save Lewis for another question. Still,
Mm-hmm.
I okay. People are gonna probably like off my head with this one, but I would do it with Max. Okay, that has nothing to do. I'm just trying to because he's an aggressive driver and he like cuts all corners to
Mm-hmm.
try to get to where he's trying to get to. So just I don't know. And then the circuit, can I just pick Laguna Seca because there's like that really weird,
Corkscrew kind of downhill section.
and it's so aggressive. Hopefully, I can get out of the car and he could just go off somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Could you imagine Max around Laguna Seca though? That would be a wild ride. I can't even lie. I
I
can't even
wish
lie.
I were to see cars on that track, especially on that turn.
Well, not even that. If Liberty Media are looking to expand and kind of diversify Formula One in America, I
Yeah,
wouldn't think of a better circuit and promotion for F1 rather than it being in like Laguna Seca. You know,
I
it
love
already has its prehistoric kind of like roots, and there's lots of series that drive there. So I can't really see why Formula One wouldn't be able to do it
well, they'd
unless
rather do it in a parking lot, so I get it.
it's always the case with these guys. Oh, it's always the case with these guys. But
Yeah.
yeah, as for me, I would pick just so I'd have the longest amount of time. I'd pick the Nürburgring, like the full like
Yeah,
9 minute
yeah.
version, just because it has like a range of every single corner you could imagine. Driver, so I can't pick Ocon, Lewis, or Latifi. I'm gonna say as I've got my little notepad here.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Mr. Russell. I think he would be a quite charming driver to have that experience with, too, because he's super fast. I don't think anybody could take that away from him. And yeah,
Are you,
just in
are you gonna
general as
enjoy
well.
the scenery or what with him?
Yeah, just looking at the trees and that, and just taking
Because
it all in.
I'm like, he's yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna stop there. So.
Oh gosh, you're not a George Russell guy.
Oh no, I like the guy.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, I like him. He's,
Okay,
he's cool.
let's see who else we've
I'm
got in
going
the
to the
chat.
next one.
So we've got Jay that said hot lap would be in Brazil. Great shout. And a driver, Danny Rick. That would be pretty cool as well. Knowing like Danny
I
Rick's
actually,
character,
I actually was about to say Danny Rick, but I can't.
it'd be a lot of fun because he'd like be making you laugh and then driving the car sideways and stuff like that too. I think that'd be a really memorable kind of moment. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Rory said if it's for memes, Piastri to replace Latifi mid-season. Listen, I wouldn't put it past Williams because this Josh Capillo guy on Drive to Survive was talking the most smoke about how like Williams are a big team, which they are to be fair, and he expects them to be much higher. And then he was talking about Lewis Hamilton, which we've already addressed. You don't speak about Lewis unless you're bigging up the goat. So yeah, like I don't think he's going to be necessarily impressed with Latifi's reactions. And if you look at Albon, who's doing quite well at the moment, like
Yeah, I
there's
think
not
so.
really an excuse for like Latifi.
I think so too because I think he's they have points now, so they'll be getting money now.
Exactly. That's so true, and
So
it's a thing where if Williams can actually get points with both drivers, I think it's going to reflect on Haas in a way too, because you've got Magnussen doing all the work, and then Mick that's still kind of, hmm,
I mean, if I say anything, people won't be
yeah,
happy.
they're gonna come here now because it's the son of Michael Schumacher.
I
So
love
yeah,
Nick, but
mm,
what can you
there's
do?
there's a lot of question marks there. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Rory said his hot lap would be with Stroll, Mister like Vice President of Team LH. I must say so myself. Stroll would be an interesting one too, because like he's kind of like a Colton Herter like type personality, just like really just. He seems like an introvert, but he's the sort of guy I think if you break down the barriers with him, you'd
I think he's a
really
cool
like
kid.
warm.
I don't know. I don't mind
Yeah,
him. I don't
and
mind him. He's just there. He's not like he doesn't, you know.
that's the thing too. Uh,
Oh, Rory is so funny.
literally, Roy just comes out with the most random
I
stuff.
feel like he would be the one that talks the most if you open him up.
Same here. Like I think if he got to warm to you, I think it'd be cool. But if it's one of those ones where like he went onto Twitter one day just to like suss you out, and then you see you slandering him, yeah, that would be the most like awkward like
Yeah.
5 minutes of your life ever. So yeah. Mary said Hunt was the last winner at that circuit. Denz
Mary's like
Nürburgring.
spinning out all the history right now.
I know, right? Big up Mary. Literally, she has every. So I guess it's because she's been watching the sport for quite a long time as well. But yeah, like
Mary
she's
has.
amazing. So yeah, and then Jay said, Mick's name has a tax on it. Facts, facts, facts. I don't think anyone can argue with that. That's just
I'm
facts.
not gonna say anything. Yeah.
Okay.
I,
Question number three. So, Nilly, Netflix come up to you and they got the bag, and they say, Nilly, we want you to be the creative director for a new series about one particular driver. Which driver would you pick for the documentary, and why?
oh no. And here I am trying to save Lewis again.
You might not want to be too conservative.
You know what? Actually, if I were to choose, I actually would go with. I think Magnuson would be a good one because both sides of different sports, possibly.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good one as well. And with Magnussen, had quite a declarated kind of life because his dad was
Yeah.
like obviously a famous racing driver as well, being Jan Magnussen. Then he is in the McLaren program under the Ron Dennis kind of reign, which yeah, mixed kind of things about too. He got a podium in his first race with McLaren as well, but then they got disqualified because
I
of the
think there's a
fuel.
lot to him. I feel like would be good for a documentary, probably like no longer than like an hour, but
Even still, yeah, I agree, and then he's had the whole thing in the midfield teams, a stint with Renault, then obviously the infamous like beef
yeah.
between him and Hulkenberg as well, which I think
Yeah. Oh
divided
my
quite a few
god,
people.
I always think about that. I'm like, I always forget about that.
It's such
Man.
a legendary kind of like moment as well, and they're both in the interview pen, and it's like two
Oh my
angry
god.
dudes just like, yeah, it's not taking each other's
They
shit.
just went at each other
They
with just
really
words.
did.
With just words.
And then yeah,
Funny.
just even seeing this his relationship with Gunter, and obviously being there, and then obviously like I guess being kicked out of Haas and then
Yeah.
rejoining Haas, like it's come full circle for him. And then you mentioned like obviously the sports car racing he does in IMSA. He was gonna like I think he was gonna drive for Peugeot, no, for Le Mans.
Yeah, yeah. And then obviously stopped because of and I guess the contract was actually supposed to happen, I guess like right before he got I'm just like a little late, but
Well, better late than never because he's here now and he's absolutely dominating the scene.
yeah.
When he's up there mixing it up with George and Valtteri and stuff like that, you wouldn't think that he's the sort of guy that's been missing for like a year and a bit.
Yeah,
He's just
he's
picked
good.
up.
It's refreshing to see them, you
Yeah,
know.
definitely, I agree. Who was I
What
gonna
about
pick for this
you?
one? Hmm. 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 I want to pick a serious driver as well. I don't want to pick a meme driver just for the sake of picking a meme driver. But not Alonso. Not really.
No.
Actually, you know what? You know what? Let me give him one. I'll say Alonso. Not really because not because I'm a fan of the way he carries himself, but I think he's another driver with quite a big story. He was in Formula One
He
from like
does. I will
early.
give it that. he does
Mhm.
have a story. He could talk about how he's still mad at Lewis.
He
He could
still won't
talk
go to
about
dinner
Lewis
parties with Lewis.
half of the documentary, so that's fine.
Exactly. And then him complaining about Honda GP2 engines.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. He could talk about what he did to McLaren,
Exactly. Pulling them further down the mud when,
yeah,
he's
and
supposed to be the
Ferrari
greatest of all time.
and everybody that he's touched. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing as well. And then, to be fair, I think the thing with Alonso is he kind of has matured in a way because he was always this kind of like egotistical kind of, it's about me and nobody else. But I think those years that he had out doing Le Mans really humbled him because then he had to learn to be a team player and to work as part of one unit. Then obviously he was doing the Daytona, he was doing Indy 500, he
Right.
was doing Dakar rallying where you're with a co-driver that's going to give you instructions.
Mhm.
I think all of those things have kind of mellowed him about, like mellowed him out a bit, and also like it's nice. I think just for Ocon's sake, for him to like be the more senior driver, and the
Yeah.
relationship between him and Ocon doesn't really seem as frayed as like the one between Daniel Ricciardo and like Norris, for example.
Oh yeah, that's right. Seems like he's doing well with Ocon. I just like seeing Ocon right now doing well.
Yeah, same here. He's just such a humble
I
and
like
chilled
him.
out dude, and he goes under the radar for quite a long time. So, yeah. Okay, let's get some comments on this one too. So, J Starship said Ocon. Yep, I absolutely agree with you on that as well. And it'd be interesting because again, Ocon's one of those humble drivers that didn't really come for money. So
That's true.
it'd be really interesting. Like him and I would say Raffaello Marcello. I'm not gonna start singing now on the show. But
Oh, oh,
Raffaello
damn.
Marcello.
I
Ah,
heard how you really want to interview him, huh?
yeah, well, we've got him on one of the upcoming episodes now. It's
Oh, I was
confirmed.
supposed to act like I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, cat's out of the bag now anyway. So yeah,
I'm like, what are you talking about?
exactly. Who's
Oh
that?
no, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah,
So yeah, fair
okay.
enough.
I'm excited for you. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's amazing, to just we had obviously Brad as well, which I think is just really
I love
humble
Brad.
kind
Yeah,
of
I love
guy.
hearing his insights. He's fun.
Definitely, because it's really unique with him too, because he's been there and he's like raced, in competitions with Sebastian Vettel or other drivers that we know of. And he's just super down to earth as well. He's always got time for people, which I really love. So
I
yeah.
love his story about Max. That was a really good story.
Oh gosh, yeah, the Max
That was
Verstappen
super
trolling
fun.
one.
That was
That's a folklore
that was
story.
that was good.
That
Yeah.
one's just gonna live down in history. Okay, let's get through the other drivers which people have recommended for the documentary. So Rory said Lewis Hamilton. Yep, I think that would be a goated series. And I think we'll get one anyway when Lewis
We're getting one
retires.
with Apple, so
Hey, that would be really cool.
I'm excited.
Uh, Rory saying Mary and Wired. So unfortunately, no. Okay, I'm gonna leave the whole kind of cat and dog or cat and mouse kind of ice cream Rory and
Yeah,
Mary in the chat.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Mary said Nilly vodka going down the
Oh,
street.
she's having a good time. She's
She
having
really
a
is. It's bank holiday in the UK, so everyone's just chilling out.
That's true.
The boss, Georgina said, Nilly, did you add vodka to that? I c- I've been sipping as well. Okay, so fair enough.
Oh, so silly. Everyone's like, you know,
Just
they're drinking.
vibing.
They're having a good time. They're
They're
all
just
having a good
vibing.
time.
We love to see it. Who else have we got inside here? Okay, Magnussen. So kicked out of Haas by Russian billionaire for cash, replaces the same guy who's driving a car developed by his money. If that's not karma, I don't know what is.
I'm telling you, karma works in weird ways, right?
It really does. It really does. Just it's priceless how sometimes life can just come
I wonder
full
how that
circle.
lawsuit's gonna happen.
Do you think they'll win that though? Because it's like,
I have no idea. They don't care.
what?
They have points, so they're like, okay.
Yeah, they're making progress, and it's not like like to be honest, Nakia would have been able to get those points in the same car because we saw that, of course, in the documentary as well. So, yeah, I'm not really too fussed about him. Mary said, "What, Alonso?" Yeah, I mean, to be fair as well, if we did an Alonso like documentary, I'd just secretly be in the background, just like listening to the spice about him just like getting thrashed by Lewis Hamilton as a rookie. So I have to add that in there as well, of course.
Yeah,
Uh, Georgina said K Mag Life, of course. Full circle. Oh, what full circle? Is that Ferrari? I'm not quite sure. Okay. Oh, F1 diplomats in here as well. Shout out diplomat, Diplo. Documentary on Yuki or Zhao would be cool just to see the career and outlook of someone from Asia. Yeah, that's a great take as
yeah.
well.
I can't pick Zhao anymore. Yuki would be for something else. Another question.
Oh gosh, could you imagine Yuki though? Yuki just like start the documentary like, yeah, my name is Yuki, but I'm not going to training today. I'm just gonna drive my Honda NSX and just be rolling.
I'm curious about Yuki though, like his fascination with food and his preference of cars. Maybe
So
like a 30-minute documentary on him.
I think he would go down like a treat, and then you'd have like president, or should I say team principal, Natsumi as well, just managing everything
Ah,
as well.
yes, 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 yes. Oh, we have our Yuki fans. I forgot. Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
true. That'd be so funny though, because Natsumi would be like really like tall, and then like Yuki would be like that, like tall
He'd be
as
like,
well.
he'd be like rubbing his head, like, oh, how cute.
You just
Yeah,
pick him up and then move him from interview to interview.
totally. That's funny.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious. Georgina said we got F1 Diplomat on the live people. Yep, love to see Diplomat here as well. Great guy. Mary said, I said to Rory, it's sleepy time. Yeah, it's past Rory's bedtime, man. Like, he's still a
Poor
kid. Like, I still can't believe that. But I rate Rory's dedication though. When he's up until like 2, 3 o'clock doing F1 spaces with people, I'm like, this guy, he needs to get paid. That's what I'm
I
saying.
know. Rory, poor Rory.
I know. Oh, we got Juliana Sanchez. She said, Lewis, definitely a documentary for sure. There's so much to cover. I would like to see Michael Massey.
You
Oh,
know what's so
snap.
funny? Juliana's so smart. Okay, so I actually, but you said drivers, and Michael Massey actually was the one I was gonna say.
I mean, we can add him to that list though, because again,
I think
what we
he's
all
the
want to
one
know.
I would want.
That's the thing, because we all just want to know what happened in those 5 minutes of madness when he went from this like finishing the race under a safety car to
Yeah,
just completely just ruining the entire like championship. Like, what went through his brain? Like, and I guess we'll never know, unless maybe he spills the dirt, or maybe he decides to go a bit rogue. But I guess whilst he's still in his FIA kind of understudy role, we'll never figure out. But I think yes, great shout.
yeah,
Uh, Juliana also said Lewis documentary for sure. I like to see Massa. Yeah, Massa's another like very unspoken of like hero for a lot of people,
he
and
is.
just that kind of Brazilian charm, and that's the thing. Like, I know in a way that you can't really ever replace a racing driver, especially the likes of Ayrton Senna. But I think I'd be remiss from saying that. I think Felipe managed to get the Brazilians on his side, and
Yeah,
you definitely
well,
noticed even in his like later days when he's at Williams at the back of the grid, the Brazilians were still like like chanting
they're
for him
cheering
and
for
supporting
him
for him.
like intensely, like big time.
Exactly,
I
and
agree.
that's the thing with him too. Like, I think maybe he's again one of those drivers which maybe has a bit of a chip on the shoulder against Lewis, but I think he's one of the more honest ones out of the bunch. So
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be an interesting one. Rory also said Yuki's dream is to open a restaurant. Oi,
You know what? I always think that too. I'm always like, this kid should open one up.
that'd be sensational. I'd just be cute. I'd be going there every single day. I'd just be putting on weight.
That's so funny.
Okay, so the next question is, so for the chat and obviously for you as well, Nilly, pick a driver that you would like to star on Stripping the Dipping podcast. You should subscribe. Mhm.
I
So
mean,
now you can't pick Magnussen, you can't pick Max, you can't pick Perez, can't pick Zhao, can't pick Alonso.
how many questions are we doing on this?
There's five. This is the last one about drivers though, so it's your
Oh,
final up.
okay. If this is the last one about drivers, then it would be Lewis.
Woo! And
Okay.
Georgina would love you for life as
Oh,
well.
trust me, I know. My timeline tells me every day on what day she's on by
Exactly.
requesting.
Lewis, please join the podcast. Please, please join the podcast. Please join
Imagine
the
he's like,
podcast.
oh, definitely, no problem. So
But I think it'll happen one day though. It's like I know that there's a lot of people around the world, and like like Lewis is just like a super busy guy. That's why when I saw like shout out to Crystal as well.
I was
When
just
I
about to
saw
say
that
that
video,
too. Shout out to Crystal for meeting him today. I was this morning, like my whole. I'm in a chat with Crystal, and man, I was like, I don't know. I felt like I met him, and I was so excited for her. That is exciting. That is very exciting.
100%. And I even watched the video and I just love how Lewis is just so like candidly like, "Hi guys, yeah, I'll sign this one first." And then all you hear is like Crystal and like the girls just like, "Ah,
Well,
my
yeah,
god,
he tells her, he's like, I like your hair. And I'm like, stop, just stop, just stop.
I'm surprised Crystal didn't melt, honestly.
Oh,
Like,
she did. Oh, I could hear it in the background. She's like breathing, hyperventilating, like I'm so happy
Oh,
for her.
bless
That
her.
was
She
very
deserves it.
refreshing this morning to see. So
Like honestly, she deserves it. And like that's the thing. Like these drivers, they're almost catapulted as like
yeah.
these superstars, like these astronauts. So for one of us, like to actually be able to like get to meet them in person and like to have such an organic kind of like
The
experience as well.
dedication. The dedication. It was raining, pouring rain. She's a very busy girl. Very busy. And
Yeah,
yeah, she made time. So love to see it. Love to
yeah.
see it.
Of course, sacrifices pay off, and that's the important thing too. So yeah,
Mhm.
drivers I picked for the podcast. So you picked Lewis, which I think is great, and obviously, like I said, Georgina will love you forever. No, 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 no. So I can't pick Perez. Can't pick. No, that was you. Can't pick Ocon. Can't pick Lewis. Can't pick Latifi. Can't pick George. Can't pick Alonso.
What about
Hmm.
Seb?
You know what? That's a good shout. I'm gonna take you up on that because I think again, Seb's another like chatty guy. I think once you kind of break him down a bit, and he's just so knowledgeable as well. The guy is a quite academic one as well, so you
Yeah,
could like
why not?
he's got that perfect mix of like the driver personality, but then also like the Bryson and Denny type like technical knowledge about the cars and any kind of questions you have about them.
And
And
shout
shout
out
out
to
to him too.
oh my
You
god, Jinx, Jinx, Jinx. That's what I just said
know.
too. Shout out to them both, to Denny and Bryson. So
Exactly.
Jinx,
They're both
yeah,
great guys from our community as well, and it's a pleasure to have them. Can't wait to actually have Denny on in a couple of weeks too for like the
that's super
review shows we're
exciting.
gonna do. So excited, excited, excited. But yeah, what was I gonna say as well? I'll come back to it. But in the meantime, we'll look at the comments for this one too. So Mary said, Mika Hakkinen for a documentary. Like the
Mary, move
cool
on to the
thing.
next question. We're like past that question now.
um Rory said Kimmy. J Starship said Lewis. And Georgina says, yeah, I do love her loads, which I wouldn't come to expect anything differently. So yeah, cool. Okay, so the next question. Okay, I asked this question on Twitter and I got like very wide answers. So this one's for you, Nilly. Would you rather
Oh
have to
yeah.
listen to Helmut Marko speak to you every single morning for the rest of your life, or for one time only, drink the toe jam
No man,
out of
just
Danny
that word
Ricciardo's
alone.
shoe?
Just that word alone. I don't
Oh
even.
man,
Just that word alone makes me cringe.
it does. I can't lie, but that's what Lewis described it as. So I have to just go off of that, to be honest.
That is so wrong. I rather listen to Helmut Marko only. Like I told you, I actually would just sing to him the whole time. I'll listen to him, but I'll just start singing to him all day.
What would you sing to him? A
Every-
bit of Luther Vandross, bit of Mariah Carey. What'd you choose?
just sing anything. Old McDonald had a farm. Just start singing anything.
E-I-E-I-O,
Just sing
Max
anything to
on
him.
the farm with. I don't know. I was gonna do a remix there.
Anything but to touch Toe Jam. Ugh.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm gonna let the viewers like get into this one as well because it's quite a dividing and polarizing question. It's either you deal with the annoyance of one thing for the rest of your life, or the inconvenience and just the nastiness of the other. So let's go into the comments and see what we've got. So Jay said, "Oh no, I can't choose." Nah, Jay, you have to choose. You have to choose one or the other. And Mary said, "None of
None
them."
of
Oh,
them.
come on, Mary. You gotta play. You gotta play the game. You have
Choose
to pick
whatever.
one. You gotta pick one. One of the two. Bear in mind, with the Daniel Ricciardo one, you can just get over and done with. Like Helmut Marko is speaking to you for the rest of your life. Oof. But then
Well,
again, who knows? Maybe he might like diverge some information to you about the Red Bull that you could then probably tell, like
he might just
Bono.
give it up. Yeah, he might just give up on life and just say, you know what, I give up. I'm on your side now. Just
Yeah, that's the thing. Like there is that to it as well. So yeah, fair
go.
enough. Okay, so and then the bonus question we have here. So bonus question nearly is you have to pick a technical director. So basically, you're gonna be in charge of Mercedes. Like Toto is stepping down, and you're in charge of Mercedes,
Okay.
and you have to pick a technical expert or head of technical. You have to pick a podcast, and I'm gonna exclude stripping the dipping because yeah. You have to pick a podcast, like group or like
Okay.
couple or
Yeah.
thing to
Yeah.
do the social media. You have to pick like a driver coach that's gonna pick Lewis and George up when times aren't so good for them, and you have to pick a vice principal, like in case you're too busy or you've got like PR stuff to do and you can't make it to the race. Who are you picking as part of your team?
Technical would be Bryson. That's that's a given.
Mm.
Podcast I would do Quick Stop.
Hey, shout out Tandy and Yasha.
Shout out to them because we can't pick stripping and dipping. So I'm gonna go with Quick Stop. And then what was the last question or the other question?
Last one was okay. Like a driver development coach. Like they don't actually have to be a
Ooh,
driver either. They can just like help the drivers and cheer them up.
ooh, I would go with Lewis on that one.
Mhm.
Somebody alongside of me, you.
Me as like the
Yeah,
vice team principal.
yeah,
Hey, oh, thank
yeah,
you.
yeah,
I'll take
yeah.
that. I'll take
Oh
that.
yeah.
I don't think I'd have like the this as you would have though. Like I could imagine like if the Mercedes
I
just
need
loads
somebody to
quick
calm
stop.
me down, somebody who's not flipping the tables and like not like, just throwing things everywhere.
Smashing tables.
So, every single like headphone would be broken. They would just not put anything in my ear. Just that's that.
Hey, well, Bose, shout out to Bose as well, need that endorsement. But
Yeah,
yeah, just yeah, that I think I'd be a smooth operator, and I'd just be there just to steady the ship and just make sure everyone's having a good
I
time.
think I think your skills would be impeccable. So why not?
Aw,
Yeah, why not?
thank you. Okay, let's go through some of the comments. So, Jay for the previous question said, picking helmet. The shoe shit is disgusting. Yeah, no, some people just can't get
Oh,
over that, and I don't blame them either. Because imagine, just like, yeah, no, 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 I'm just gonna leave that there. It's disgusting.
yeah.
Um, Mary said, Georgina, how you doing? Okay, so we have a nice little chat going on in the background. Quick Stuff is a great podcast. Ah, they're legendary. They inspire me to be honest. And I think even Georgina
They're
takes a
great.
lot of
I
like
love them.
hints and like clues from them. So yeah. Rory's come in. It's a technical director, F1 Twitter, social media, me, DRS Zone podcast. Yeah, shout out to the DRS Zone podcast as well. Lovely. Shout out to Rhett and obviously Wayne as well and Diplomat 2, driver coach Thor, and then Vice President Mary. Yo, I can just imagine Mary with a Scottish accent as well. She's
Imagine
ripping
Mary
into everyone.
alongside of me. I think
Whew.
her and I, it would just never be any. It would just stop the whole race. It would just never go anywhere.
Honestly, I think the cameras just pan in on you and Mary all the time, and it just be and knowing Mary as well, like if like Sky came to interview Mary and then Paul the Resto was talking crap, I could just
I
imagine.
I would pay to see that because Mary, like she would
Oof.
just with her accent, she would just go off on them, and they're like, anyways, and she's
Oh,
still going though in the background, still just
oh
going.
my days. You just see Simon Lanes to be like, okay, so that was the end of this segment, and then Mary's be like, I'm not finished. And she just cut Terry off.
Grabs the mic out of their hand, and she's like,
Oh man, we need to see
that is
that. That
funny.
someday it just needs to be a thing. But okay,
That
we
is
got a couple of more comments on this one too. Mary said, Nilly, when will you let somebody tell you what to do? Never.
oh,
I'll be the first person to say that.
uh,
Never.
I can't even get. Yeah, it's just no nobody. Unless if it was Lewis, of course.
Yeah, fair enough. You gotta take on board what he says. Thanos said, nearly, of course.
What's up, Thanos? I love Thanos.
Oh, he just says it as it is. Legend, love Thanos.
Thanos,
Uh,
man, yeah.
Juliana said, love Bryson and Quick Stop. Yeah, come on, they're like the goats of the community. Like you,
Yeah.
I think F1 Twitter for us, it wouldn't be the same without those two, like individuals and just.
Juliana's a very coach-like person too. She's very good.
Mm.
She keeps me uplifted too. She's really
Aw.
she's a good one.
Hey, well, probably we'd have her as like the driver performance coach too. When Lewis or George had a rough day and they
Oh,
need.
she'll take good care of him. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Next
sure.
one. Hey, Quick Stop F1 in the building. I'm gassed.
Woo!
I'm
There they
gassed.
are.
What?
Well,
My
that's
life.
my favorite.
Jeez.
My favorite. Love Quick Stop.
Oh, they're amazing.
Love
The
them.
content's just crazy. Just make sure, guys, as well, if you're not, boy, I don't know what to tell you about life, but make sure you go and subscribe to Quickstop F1. Legendary
They're on
content.
a routine for me. They're routine.
Literally.
They're routine.
It's a must. Like I start off like my weeks like trying to listen to them because it's just I
It's a
just
good
need that.
time. I swear. I feel like I'm having a good time. Just, it's
Exactly.
fun.
And it just feels like they're for us. It doesn't feel like they're talking to like, the typical, oh, my name's James and this is my F1 channel. Like, nah.
Don't even. Oh, we could go on for days with that one, but
No, it's true
we don't
though.
do that, right? So
This is the thing. It's just about keeping it authentic, and
yeah,
as long as you do that, I think everything else follows. So yeah.
totally.
Georgina said, "Hey Mary, how are you? I'm SL doing great." Another typo from Georgina. It's 2:42 in Sri Lanka. Jesu. Okay, dedication there from Georgina. Diplomat said, Nilly and Mary kicking down the door of the race director's office. Lol.
Oh,
Oh
that'd be fun.
man,
It would
that's
be
hilarious. But necessary though. Jay said it would be a night yelling Mary and Nilly finding people who talk mess. Lol.
fun. That is
Oh man.
that is funny.
Mary said,
Where's she
fucking
going? Yeah.
hate the rester. Yeah, nope. Like, look, the rester gets no love here. Mary's responding to Nyasha being here as well.
Oh,
Legendary. My bro. Hashtag uncle allegations. Love to see it. And yeah, quick stop one. F1 says, hey guys, just editing our thing for this week. Have to duck out. Hope you guys are well. Aw, well,
thanks
thank
for
you for
stopping
stopping by.
by. Love you guys.
Aw, thank you for stopping by, bro. And honestly, it's so nice. And yeah, just looking forward as well to the esports championship I'm doing with obviously Quick Stop F1 being one of the brands I'm promoting.
Woo.
Love to see it. So yep, happy for them. Rory said, love this episode. Have to fix my Daniel Ricciardo. Jeez. I don't even want to know what that includes, to be honest. Like,
About your,
man.
yeah, I
This is
feel
gonna
you.
be this is gonna be one-sided boots from every time Daniel Ricciardo's won a race.
It's so
Oh
funny.
man. Jay said, I don't think people fully grasp how it feels to watch a podcast of people who are like you. So heartwarming. Quick stop. Oh, honestly, yeah. I
Yeah,
can't say enough words. Honestly, Quick Stop F1 has transformed my life. Like, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't know half the people I know now. So,
yeah.
they are just I've always said it, they are the godfathers of this whole content creation thing for me. And without them, I probably wouldn't even feel so comfortable in this space. So
Honestly, there's like a few people that are very tells it like it is.
mm,
Thanos being one of them. Thanos is the one that's like he's our ride or die. He's
yeah, pretty much. He don't take no crap. And I
yeah,
love to see it as well. He just
I love
says it
it.
as it is.
I have quick stop. It's just nice. It's nice. You know.
Absolutely. Mary saying good morning to Georgie. Still can't believe it's 2 a.m. in Sri Lanka. That's
I
wild.
do. Yeah.
Mary said me and Nearly would kick ass. You guys would. Quick Stop said, thank you for all the kind words, guys. It means the world. Denz, you're a superstar in the making. Oh, thank you, man. Honestly, I'm just a normal guy from North London.
Oh,
But,
there we go.
I try,
We're gonna don't worry. We're gonna get on to your segment pretty soon. We're gonna get in.
Oh.
Mhm.
And
I do have
nearly,
some questions for you too. Then
okay, well, listen, we'll bring those in quite shortly as well.
awesome. Let's get going.
I think Juliana said as well, love you, Nearly. Aw, this lovely to see the sister kind of like,
Yeah.
relationship there as well. Like you guys are so amazing, and I love like our little family group chat that we have as well on
Yeah.
Twitter. It's
It's
amazing.
nice.
And then you know what, Mary's just amazing too because I was doing like my little sim racing thing earlier today too, and Mary, whilst I was like driving at like 100 miles an hour in the sim, Mary's like, "When are you gonna get Nilly on? When's the episode gonna be out?"
Mary.
Nilly's like my
Mary.
Lewis
I
Team
love
LH
Mary.
sister.
Mary knows. I'm close with Mary. Love Mary. She's a real one. She's a real one.
Honestly, she's just one of the greatest. To be honest, you
Yeah.
can't just like there will never be another Mary. That's the thing. So.
Yeah.
She's just amazing. Okay, let's move on to the next segment. So, race predictions because we're going to Miami. Dun, 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 dun,
Now, which
dun.
part are we
Promoters
talking
are
about?
kind of
The
jammy.
wooden deck? Are we talking about the wooden deck or
Wooden deck. Well, listen, shout out to Malik as well because he gave us a lot of insight into the kind of jammy nature of this whole Miami
yeah?
Grand Prix and how F1, they haven't been forthcoming in the way that they've organized this event without the input of the community. And obviously, the local neighbors of such are going to be affected by it, of course. And
Right.
yet, F1 didn't really take into account their feelings or how they would react such an event. But, the political side of it aside, of course. Predictions, Nilly. Who are you going to say that would be on pole? Who would you say is going to be in your top three? And random thing that you think will happen across the weekend?
My predictions for poll. I think poll will be. We're gonna see the same poll that we have been seeing. Well, I think it's gonna be Leclerc, Leclerc, Max, and Sergio. And then
Reasonable.
I'm gonna see Lewis and George between the fifth and sixth. This is just qualifying.
Hmm.
But come race time, something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna go into that fake marina, and it's not gonna end well. And that's where Lewis is just gonna swoop on in, and he's gonna take it. He better take it. He is gonna take it. It's not he better. He is going to.
I think he is too.
I
And
see something good with Mercedes, regardless of what it is. I'm here for them. I don't really care. It's no matter what, it's all good. But I don't see it ending well for other teams.
talk on that. We've got to
I
talk
don't
on
think
that as well.
I think something's gonna happen. Either somebody's gonna fly off the freeway because or the highway, what people call it, the highway. Somebody's gonna throw a cup or something.
Oh gosh.
Something weird's gonna happen. I feel like I don't know whether if like something's gonna start coming onto the track, a person, an animal. I don't know. Who knows? It's Miami. We don't know.
Well, this is the thing too, Nearly, because it feels like it's just been crammed. I know that they announced it some time ago, so it's not like they just turned up there yesterday. But
Yeah,
there's not been a lot of time, and it's clear to see even from the pictures that we've been getting from the circuit that they're still building things and putting it together for this event.
yeah.
And obviously, as well, it's a huge deal for F1 because if this race is a disaster in any way, shape, or form, it sets a terrible precedent for the rest of the races they're going to hold there. And I think Malik was saying it's a 10-year deal. So could you
A
imagine?
10-year deal. Can you believe that? 10-year. Woo.
It's crazy, and imagine they're already on the bad foot of these people too. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's not looking the brightest right now. But yeah, I echo your sentiments as well on just the things you mentioned. I think in terms of qualifying, I don't think Mercedes are bringing any major upgrades, unfortunately, until Spain.
It's okay.
So
It's
there
okay.
is
We're
that.
here. We're
But then
here.
having said that too, like Lewis has always gone strong at new circuits. That's probably one of many, if I could list them out on
Yeah,
like a long scripture of his abilities. He's quite quick with just picking up new circuits. So
yeah,
you've
yeah.
always got
We'll
that.
see.
And
We'll
then,
see because with this track, there's a lot of straights. So, and the
exactly.
straights are in favor of a certain
Hmm.
team, a
Certain
certain
team that
team that.
we try not to give them too much light on this channel. But yeah. Of
Unless if it's
course.
Perez, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, no, honestly, Perez, did you see that what was it that like advert that Perez did as well for the
Yeah,
Miami Grand Prix thing?
that
That
was.
was pretty cool.
I'm not gonna diss it because it's him because I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
He hasn't paid his bills, so you can't get mad.
No, of course, and that's the thing with Perez as well. Like we've always said, he should get a chance in a championship-winning team,
Yeah,
or like a team that's competitive, and he's there. So
yeah,
I guess we can't have our cake and eat it at the same time as well. So
yeah,
that's true.
yeah. We gotta just keep going. How about
Exactly.
you? What about you? What do you think?
Race predictions. I agree with you on the qualifying order. I do think though that Valtteri might be up there. I think
Oh yeah,
if Alpha are strong, they'll probably be up there too. I think Latifi's probably gonna crash, and it's probably gonna be to the disadvantages of the Ferraris.
yeah,
And it's another random thing. It'd be cool if Mick got his first points in Miami. If there's one American circuit we're gonna approach this year, and obviously it's Haas's kind of like one of Haas's home Grand Prix,
yeah.
you'd
That
like to
is
see him there,
true.
man.
Oh yeah, you're right. What an American I am, not even knowing my own.
Not even rooting for Haas. How dare you, Nilly?
How dare I? What kind of American am I?
uh, one that doesn't support Haas. I'm joking. Nah, I know you love Haas, really. But yeah, let's look at the comments. Okay. There's quite a few, so let's get through them. Waiting for Nyasha to judge the work for another DNF. Oh, we have the inside joke as well that Tommy and Nyasha do like judge on Red Bulls so they don't finish races. Probably need that because I haven't sung the Max Verstappen pack song in quite a while. So yeah, we need
Yeah.
that. Jay Starship saying you guys make me want to join. Jay, join Twitter and Nilly. I hope you can join in on me as well, putting peer pressure on Jay as well. Like she needs to join Twitter. She's not on F1 Twitter because she thinks it's a toxic.
Who are you? Who is this?
Like she's like one of my like subscribers. Like she's been here for ages, but she's like
Why is
Team
she not
LH
on
to the
here?
core.
Why?
But like yeah, because she thinks that like she's got an impression that like Twitter's like a toxic community for F1,
It
and it's really
is.
not.
No, it
Not
is
in the right
though.
people though.
Oh yeah, but it's kind of like you have your own backing. It's what you
Exactly.
make of it.
True. But anyway, like just join us, Jay man. You
Yeah.
just need to join us. Like we've
Why
got
do
a
you
little
do
like
that? Yeah.
we've got a group chat as well. We've got so many different
We're not
people.
mean,
We've
I promise. Is
exactly we
she a
don't
Lewis
bite.
fan? Is she a Lewis fan or who is
Yeah,
she?
no, she is Team LH to the core. Can't
Oh,
fault her at
what's
all.
she
She knows
doing
Will.
there? Why is she
She,
doing this?
I
Yeah.
know, right? She's missing out. Like she really does need to join
Mm.
us. We'll get there eventually with Jay. We will. Mary said, "Thanks, smooth operator." Hey, I love that. That's like my new nickname. That's what everyone calls me.
It's
Like it's not
so
science anymore. It's just me. I'll take that. Mary said, "Going to dream for another Max T."
Mary. This is Mary's prediction every week. So
Literally smoking on a Max Verstappen pack.
yeah.
Max Verstappen pack. Engine blew up on the side of the track. On the side of the track. Michael Massey ain't got his back. These engines don't. Messed it up. This
Oh,
engine
God,
ain't Will Smith.
that's
They
lighter.
don't slap. Oh, you're getting into it as well. Sorry, I messed it up. But
Oh,
hey, we move, we move. Next one. If someone doesn't intentionally cause a red flag again, look at Paul. Listen, that could be its whole. That could be a whole segment as well. Like
well,
people conveniently causing red flags, or people conveniently causing safety cars that favor a certain team. But we'll leave the conspiracies for another episode.
that's a whole nother episode. A whole nother
Mm.
episode. Yeah.
Hmm. Georgina said predictions for who's gonna stand on the yacht. Fake party. You lot going in.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Mary said ride or died with Mercedes and Lewis. Yes, sir. Um 10 with a fake part. Jeeling Collins, hello, hello, hello. Nice to have you inside here, man. Hoping that whatever upgrade they bring, that it gives Lewis and George the opportunity to fight. Listen,
I am with you on
facts,
that one. I'm fine with
facts.
anything. Even a little upgrade is better than no upgrade. Any improvement is better than whatever it is. I'm not
Exactly.
worried about them. They'll be fine.
Exactly. I think they're gonna find their feet. And
They'll
shout
be
out to Dr. Obs as well. Like we had a podcast earlier with him, kind of like a
awesome. What's
audio
up?
one.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about how much potential Mercedes have with this like radical concept they have too. And once they understand it, the car will probably come to fruition. But I guess obviously as fans, we all want Lewis to formally get the A4 championship. And with a car like this, it makes it almost very tricky. So there's always two sides to that coin.
Yeah.
Mary said. Latifi can go in a fake part. Latifi's just catching stray bullets out here, but I love it because he's collateral damage. um,
Yeah.
Georgina said, "Yeah, Latifi crash testing the fake water." Nice one, Mary. Mary said, "Jay Starship, I will back you up." Listen, yeah, we've got your back, Jay. You need to join us. Julian said, "Latifi will probably crash on the long straight trying to go forward."
This is true. Oh my god. I hate to say it. I swear.
Oh man, that guy has no like racing IQ whatsoever. Like,
He blames the
ah,
wall. He says like the wall jumps at him. Like the wall jumped at him. The wall
Latifi's the
just
sort of
did.
guy that would say that, this wasn't what it was like in the simulator, or this wasn't what it was like in Gran Turismo 7. The corner wasn't there.
It's
Oh
so
man,
true.
I can't wait. Like honestly, I think Rory touched on this earlier. I can't wait for like the Williams need to do something because Williams get like a lot of stick, and it's not really them. It's just the vibes in that camp it's not right. It's just not right. It's not
Yeah.
right, and it can't be right if you have a driver like that in the team.
Yeah.
So here's what it is. Let's get through a couple of these. Mary said, "Hey, every time I've dreamt about a Max DNF, he's DNF."
True. We
Oh
have.
gosh.
Yeah.
Um, Ask Nilly, she'll tell you. Listen, Nilly's confirmed it, so I have no doubts there.
True.
It breaks my heart to see Lewis struggling after what happened last year. It's a lot, yeah. Yep,
Okay.
100,
We are,
100.
we're here. We're here to support him.
Exactly. He knows that I think we've got his back. Win or lose, we're always going to be here to back him. But
Yeah.
he's human at the end of the day as well. So no matter how much him and Mercedes do the love and light positivity thing, at some stage, yes, it would annoy you, especially when you know that you've got it within you and you're operating at your peak. But
Mm-hmm.
then you've got this limitation with the car, and it's a fundamental issue they still need to work on. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely. Jay said 4. I love our group, man. Man, you lot cheer me up, honestly. Georgina's adding that pressure. Love to see it. Trying to make Jay join us on tour, which he needs to do. And Julian said Latifi and Stroll both scare me. Stroll defensively is strong but dangerous. Yeah, didn't Stroll get into some issue? Was it him or Magnussen that got in trouble last time for weaving on a straight on Imola in the sprint race?
It was both of them, I guess. I'm gonna always
Mm.
take Stroll's side, even if it was his fault. So
Listen, we're a Stroll stan account here because, to be fair, for a pay driver, he's done extraordinarily well. I mean, in terms of he's never been in a championship winning car. He's already got a pole position to
yeah,
his name in Turkey.
yeah,
He tends to do quite well in interchangeable conditions, and he's got a couple of podiums to his name as well in a Williams.
yeah.
So
I mean,
I get it. Like he tends to go on like a kind of run where it just kind of stays the same, and it'll go up and it'll go down, and then it will just go
yeah,
in a straight line again. But that's just
exactly.
how it is. And he's still young and he's still developing, so I can't really get onto him too much.
Yeah,
Uh, Jay said, "Win or lose, 100% amen to that." Julian said, "Found you guys from watching Bryson. Loved." Ah, thank you, Julian. Thank you. It's nice to have you as part of this community as well, man. Because there's so many of us out there, and I think, as we mentioned earlier, like it's a really small world. But then when you're able to find a Nilly, or able to find a Georgina, or able to find a Mary or Rory or any one of us, just
yeah,
it subjects you into a world that you never really thought would exist, and it's such a beautiful place that we have. So I love it personally too. But yeah, let's get through a couple of these ones quickly before I hand it over to you to ask him questions you wanted to put in.
yes.
Julianne said both. Yep. What's going on with the Audi Porsche deal? How's that going to work?
It hasn't
So,
been confirmed yet, right?
well, yeah, I mean, F1, I think, made an official post about it. And what they're proposing is that the Audi, Porsche, Volkswagen, Audi group, whatever you want to really call it, they want to buy shares in Red Bull. And I
Right.
think it might be up to 50%. So it'll be 50-50. And in that regard, I think that works out quite nicely for Red Bull because one,
Yeah.
they've got their own engine provider, which obviously Audi, Volkswagen, they're one of the leading companies when it comes to like technical innovations and stuff like that too. But then obviously Red Bull, they're an advertising company, of course, so they can still do their like gimmicky kind of like stuff that they tend to do anyway with that setup. So yeah, I think it would just be a 50-50 kind of like split, and Audi slash Porsche slash Volkswagen, whatever you want to call it, they'll give the technical insight and
Hmm.
manage the engine side. And then you obviously have Red Bull just doing the chassis and the aerodynamics with the likes of Adrian Newey and stuff like that too.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Uh Stroll is much stronger than Latifi. So I'm not so hard. Yeah, I agree. I definitely think that Stroll's proven himself more than Latifi, no doubt. Georgino's supporting what I said. So yeah, her Porsche needing a 50% share of Red Bull, which I think Red Bull might go along with because it's them cutting their own cost and putting
Yeah.
50% of that on Volkswagen as well. And if Red Bull ever say, you know what, we've done our bid in Formula One, they could just completely sell out to Volkswagen Audi. So it gives them a lot of flexibility too in that regard.
Yeah.
Nilly was mad watching Imola. Don't want to watch another race like that. No, true,
Woo.
100%. 50%. Wow. Yeah, well, that's the thing too, because I think with Porsche and Audi and Volkswagen, they're not going to come into F1, just to be, a sideman or just to be like a kind of like bit on the side. They really want to like get into Formula One. And with the rules that are being simplified, shout out to Bryson when he explained on the episode things or components, MGUH being simplified, energy store, the recovery system, and that it's going to make it a lot more appealing to a lot of manufacturers like Toyota. Potentially you might see Honda backing it in a couple of years too, maybe with their own team as opposed to just like supporting somebody. But yeah, like 50% doesn't surprise me at all. In some
Mhm.
instances, it could potentially be more. Julian said, if they allow Porsche and Audi, then they should allow Andretti. Facts. Facts. That should be a thing too. And it really annoyed me. Like, I need to ask you this as well, Nearly. Like, how was your reaction when, like, I think FIA, sorry, and FOM were saying, well, we don't want additional teams on the grid right now, so no to Andretti, or like Andretti were putting in a bid and like F1 were playing hard to get. What's your reaction to that?
I honestly I would like to see a team like Andretti to be on there, but I understand because a lot of the team principals actually don't even want it. They don't want it because of the prize pool money or whatever the case is.
It will be more like, I guess, diluted as well if you add additional teams to it.
And he said that he would pay for it, the difference or whatever. But I just think that it would just be a little off right now.
Mm.
The sport is so confused. We don't need more confusion right now until it's sorted out, to be honest with you.
That's true. And I guess as well with like Andretti, you wouldn't want them to just be in the sport for the sake of being in the sport. You want to give
Yeah.
them a fair chance, to be competitive and to have the impact that has had, because Haas came into Formula One with the Ferrari partnership. And within the first couple of seasons, they were performing quite well until,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
Ferrari got found out about the illegal engine. Again, that's another episode. But yeah, just like, you want them to join in the right circumstances. So it doesn't surprise me at
Yeah,
all.
well, then again, like Porsche and Audi are going to be suppliers, not so much anything else. But it's really weird because, like, for a company that is only focused on like non-combustion engines, it's weird.
Yeah,
And
it's a strange one, but again, I guess it's that Austrian German kind of link,
I mean,
and
don't get me wrong, I love them. I love that. It's just it's weird. It's just a little strange. So I mean,
yeah,
hey, whatever works works. So what do you-
that's true. And I guess that's the thing with Red Bull. They're always twerking. They're always, I don't know if you notice this, they're always kind of advertising themselves because they did a similar thing when they're having the divorce with Renault and Serial Beatable,
yeah.
and they went through this
I mean,
whole kind
they're
of thing.
such a huge company, even in America. Like, just not even with racing, they're just very, very good with marketing. I mean, this company is untouchable when it comes to marketing on
Exactly.
all aspects. So
That's so true. That's so true. And Jay said, wait, what about Red Bull Powertrains? So with Red Bull Powertrains, that is just
you
going to
mean
be the
you
name
mean
of the division.
Honda?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they'll still be there as well, Jay. I think with that, essentially, Porsche and Audi will obviously make and construct the engines, but then you'll have Red Bull, wherever they call themselves, do the trackside kind of management of the engine. And obviously, they're going to be the ones that have to integrate that engine into the chassis, because you can have a great engine, but then a poor chassis that it's not well integrated into. And even with like the likes of like McLaren or Williams or even like Aston Martin, they've got a Mercedes power unit, but still sometimes you see them struggling with overheating or like lack of cooling and these things, because they still have to integrate that engine into their own car. So that's probably what the Red Bull powertrain team would do. So yeah, there is something a bit fishy about it, but when is something never fishy with Red Bull? There's always something.
It's more like tell me something new. You know.
Exactly. They're always onto something. So, yeah. And then last one for I give it to you. Georgina said, so I heard VW want to get a team that's already, but not sure because there are rumors, nothing has been confirmed yet, or what exactly the Porsche Audi. Yeah, so there's still a lot of speculation, but I do see that happening. It will come forward. And
Well,
also
VW owns them. VW owns
that
Porsche.
family. Exactly. They're all
That's
kind of
they
integrated
own
into
them.
one.
They're
So
all
yeah.
one company essentially. So
this is the thing, and I think that's how a lot of businesses they just maneuver these days, because even
Yeah,
Renault like have like their own kind of Alpine and sub brands underneath that, form that brand as well. Shout out to John as well, Nobsy as well, great guy, makes sim racing content. Make sure you
nice.
guys check him out as well. Awesome. But yeah, Nearly, I'm conscious of your time as well. So yeah, did you want to ask any questions at all, or I
I
know you
do.
had some smoke for me, so yeah.
I do. I do. Um, so okay. I had some help with these questions from a couple of people.
Okay.
So the question I got was if you were an F1 driver, what would you name your car?
Oof. Oof. That's a good question. Um, I'd have to name it after my mom. I'd have to name it Sharon because, like, it
Oh, you're
like
so cute. Okay.
well, that's the thing. Like, my mom's always been like a big part of my life. Like, she's
Yeah.
always inspired me to just be the guy that I am today. And yeah,
Yeah.
without the sacrifices that she's made, I wouldn't even be in the position I am. So, I think it's always just nice to have her with me. And if I had the car like named after her as well, I just kind of feel like
Yeah.
she's always by my side. So, yeah, I'd probably name the car after my mom. But how about you? What would you name a car if you were an F1 driver?
Oh man, these questions aren't for me.
Okay, next one.
Let's focus on just you. How about that?
Okay.
This is the Denz section. So,
Ooh, okay.
okay, if you could replace anyone on the grid right now and personally take their seat, who would it be?
It's gonna be George Russell, and I really feel bad because the kid's worked so hard to get there. Like he's been grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. But how could I not turn down the opportunity to like work alongside my idol, like one of my favorite racing
Uh,
drivers, and just have a
that's
season. And that's the thing, it would be cool if like the W13 was a competitive car and it was winning races and me and Lewis were on the podium spraying champagne. But I think also this kind of difficult time that the team's going through is gonna make George and Lewis gel together even more because they've got no other option but to work with each other, and try and like resolve some of the issues and help the team guide them along the right paths. So yeah, whether they were doing quite well or not, I would just pick Mercedes, and obviously I'd want to work alongside Lewis too because that'd be so cool.
nice. Okay, so this is a question from Naomi. Shout out to
Okay.
Naomi. So she said, "What's the story of how he came to work with Brad?" She's been curious ever since she found out.
Okay, yeah, Brad Philpott, which again we
Yes.
referenced earlier, legendary guy. So yeah, this is a funny story because I did my first episode on Quick Stop F1 as part of a fan cam episode where we like, talking about lots of stuff, answering some questions. And
Uh-huh.
then like Nyasha was asking me, bro, what do you actually do? Like, because I see you obviously with the posters, like little mini cars, shout out Sir Lewis, and
Yeah.
the sim racing stuff as well. So, I told him about that. And then like a week later, he's like, dude, there's like a like sim racing event for charity. It's being held by this Missed Apex community, a podcast,
Yeah.
and a real life racing driver, Bradley Philpott's organizing it. So I was like, cool, I'll sign up for it. And then, funnily enough, I signed up for the event with my teammate. We were practicing, and then I saw Brad Philpott in the session, which is crazy because, like, I just consider myself a normal guy, and then you go in these like esports kind of races, and you see real life drivers occasionally. So I just
Uh-huh.
see Brad Philpott's name, and then I went on track with my car, and like my time was like maybe 2 or 3 tenths off of Brad Philpott's. So I was like, oh my god, like I'm only like maybe like a quarter of a second slower than a Formula well, a racing driver nonetheless. So I tweeted him and then he responded back. And then on like the internal radio, he was like, dude, are you the AMG Denz guy from the Quickstop F1? I was like, yeah. Like, how do you know? Because I didn't expect him to like
Oh,
watch.
funny. Uh-huh.
So yeah, like we just like kept in contact since then. Then there was another one we did, which was like a 12-hour race. So that was like very treacherous.
Fun.
And then recently, like I think last month, he just like DM me and in capital letters, he's like, dude, I was like, yes. And he's like, are you free? I was like, depends. Do you like go karting? Like all in caps. And I was like, am I in trouble here? Did I do something? Like, is somebody gonna
You're
kill
like,
me?
what is happening?
Exactly. So I was like, are you okay? And he's like, listen, we've got a go-karting championship. It's a national tournament where you've got like, XF, like F2 drivers, you've got reigning karting champions from different parts of the country coming to England just to participate in this like competition. And somebody paid a deposit all the way back in August. So they've been practicing since back then. And we've been trying to reach out to this driver and he's not responding. So there's deposit money there,
Uh-huh.
and like we've just got an empty cart. So I was like, I'd love to, because I've always wanted to do go-karting since I was a kid, but unfortunately for my parents, they couldn't financially,
Right, right.
like justify it. So I've always wanted to do it. So I was like, yeah, and then obviously taking the content creation thing a lot more seriously now and trying to do the podcast with Georgina and stuff like that. I was like, you know what, like I want to be brave and do it. So yeah, like that's basically how me and Brad got to like get to know each other a bit more. I turned up for practice on Friday, the day before the actual event itself, with like no practice whatsoever, and did some laps around the circuit. And he's the most like humble, down to earth guy. Like he always had time to speak, and it's crazy because he was dealing with me, dealing with the organizers, dealing with the broadcast team, dealing with some angry like Russian drivers who didn't read the rule books.
Yeah.
And very Mazepin-esque vibes there. Like the guy does like a million and one things, and he's always doing things for people. So I can't like rate Brad highly enough. Just he's amazing. And even just for me, like I was on the first day like a second and a half off the pace, which I was really angry about at the time, because I was like, I know that I'm new, and I know that like I've never competed in a competition. I've only just been practicing today, whilst these guys have been practicing since August. But a second and a half is not good enough for me, and
Right,
he's saying
right.
no, don't beat yourself up. We get that you're competitive, but still, like if you were a second and a half off of Lewis Hamilton in a Formula One car, would you complain? I was like, well, no. He's like, well, you have to look at this the same way too, then, because these people are serious guys. And as the weekend went on, I got to meet some other drivers. I met the reigning F2 like race winner. Like, there's a guy that's basically won the most consecutive races in F2, and Key was in one of my races. It's like, geez, okay. And then there was like some other guys. One guy had like a nice helmet. I was like, dude, how much is that helmet? He's like, oh, £6,000. I was like, what? you know.
No
So
way.
yeah,
Wow.
so like people were taking this thing really seriously, and then like between one or two of my races, there was like a 9 hour gap. So I could have drove home and came back, but I was like, nah, I'll just chill out in the car park for a bit. And you could just see parents with their kids, young kids, just focused. And this is like basically their opportunity to get karting opportunities internationally, so then they can do open race wheeling at F4, F3 level. So it's a big deal. So yeah, it was a huge eye opener, and I'm just super thankful to Brad for that opportunity. And I'm hoping to, do more work with him. Hopefully, we can get him on the channel in the future as well. Georgina was talking about getting spanners from the Missed Apex podcast,
Yeah.
which Brad was working on as
Yeah,
well.
that would be fun to have both of you guys on here.
Exactly, and yeah,
And
he's
it's fun.
he's
He gets a lot of crap, but he's a good dude. He's a
that's
good
the
dude.
thing, and that's like I've always said, like it's a balance in life. Like you don't want to just take crap for the sake of taking crap, but with him, he's just got that resilience and that kind of mental strength, to just like not waste his time with losers or haters or people that are trying to put him down. And
I love it.
he knows his worth. So yeah,
He's
he's a standout guy. And great question from Naomi as well, because yeah, we met in the most kind of like craziest way. But going back to my earlier point, without Quick Stop F1 and without you guys, just I wouldn't be anywhere. So it's all you guys as well, and I have to thank you
we love
guys
it.
and shout you guys out for that.
We
So
love
yeah.
it. Okay, so another question is what is your earliest memory of watching F1 live or just watching any of the races, and how did you get into it?
Great question. So for me, I can reveal my age. I was born in '95. By like '97, I was just like with my dad, because in the household it was just a religious thing that when F1 is on a Sunday and you heard the song by Fleetwood Mac, The Chain, ding, 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 just everybody was just like like basically eyes glued to the television. And my dad's like the biggest Shumi fan. In fact, I think I've even got some of Shumi's cars as part of my collection
I
too.
love
But
it. Yeah.
but yeah, like my dad was a huge Schumacher fan, and through that earlier kind of like part of like the '90s, early 2000s, I grew up watching F1 with my dad. A funny fact: in England, we have a football team called Arsenal, which is relatively local for me because they're based in North London. And
Yeah.
for a period of time, I supported Arsenal because they're red, and like my favorite color was red because of Michael Schumacher. So
Ah.
it just grew on me that way. And then growing up, like when I was going to school, like my dad would pick me up on Fridays. We go to the McDonald's and I'd get like a Happy Meal, and we have like these little Hot Wheels cars. Maybe that's why I've gone full circle with collecting replica models now.
Oh, okay.
It's kind
Yeah.
of funny. And then we go to like a pawn shop called like Cash Converters where they sell old video games. And I remember when my dad bought me my first video game, which is probably why I'm into sim racing now too. It was like F1 2000, and it had like Heinz Harald Frentzen, this German guy, and then Mika Hakkinen on the cover as well. And I was like, oh my god, this is like my first racing game, and just yeah, followed it up ever since then. So I've gone through the entire motions of it, and then when Michael retired the first time, I just didn't know who to follow, so I was feeling a bit sad. But then obviously Lewis came in. I was like, yay, like Lewis, I'm gonna get on board with this guy. And as much as I wasn't a great McLaren fan because they were like the arch enemy of like Ferrari back in the day,
Yeah. Yeah.
I just had that affinity to Lewis. And then Michael came back in 2010. So I was on the Mercedes hype and have been on Mercedes hype ever since. Then Michael retired again, you know, and then obviously Lewis replaced Michael at Mercedes, which I think that's another thing as well. Like it's quite sad in F1 Twitter. You see people always doing this whole comparison between Michael and Lewis or Michael and Senna. And drivers can be great and they can be great in their own
An own
thing. Like
era. People don't get it. They're different cars. They're different eras. My gosh.
yeah,
It's
different rules, different regimes. Yeah, and you said it perfectly. Like drivers can be amazing and unique and great in their own thing. You don't have to, not for the sake of creating a war on Twitter. Do you have to like try and put these guys or fan bases against each other? So, luckily for me anyway, just like Lewis joined Mercedes, and then because of Lewis, I actually got my first job in a Mercedes dealership because I was at university at the time. I was studying my
oh,
law degree, but
okay.
a lot of the law firms at the time was like, yeah, no, sorry, want somebody with more experience. I'm like, wait, I'm trying to get experience. Why won't you give me experience?
That doesn't make any sense. Oh, how are you going to get experience without experience?
This is it. So, I was like, cool, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to just do something that I enjoy. I'm going to see if I can get a job with Mercedes, and although it wasn't a Formula One team, it was still the dealership.
It's a
And it
team.
was
It's still no matter what the company.
Yeah, exactly. And you see, even in the dealership, you still see the same morals and principles and just that
Mhm.
philosophy of the way the place works and how the business is. And it was amazing for me to do. And then, ironically, through that experience, a solicitor walked in one day and all the salespeople are, oh, yeah, no, he looks a bit creepy. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with him. I'm like, dudes, you can't judge a book by its cover, man. Like, like, be
Yeah.
nice. So I made conversation with the solicitor, not knowing he was a solicitor at the time, and then he's like, "Oh, you know a lot about these cars. Like, what do you do?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just a law student from North London here in Nottingham, 100 miles down the road, trying to get my degree." He's like, "Listen, I'm a solicitor that works literally across the road in that law firm over there. When you're done with this, join me." And the rest was history. So through
No.
Mercedes, I actually then got my job in the legal sector, which is crazy.
Oh my God. The irony of that.
This is the thing. So
Wow.
yeah, just for me, just like Mercedes, I think has always been part of my life in that way, and like without them, I wouldn't be where I
Yeah.
am in terms of my career. But yeah, it's been interesting to see that journey too, because I wouldn't have thought that social media would have made F1 the way it is today, where like we have this cool community, podcasts, sim
Yeah.
racing. There's so many facets to it, but it's amazing.
I love it. All right. So I have two more questions for you.
Sure.
Um, Next question is, which female racer do you think should come up to F1? And what team would you want them to go to?
Hmm. I would say hmm, there's a few. There's a few. And I'm gonna give my rationale for them all as well. I would say Jamie Chadwick. is definitely a superstar. Definitely in the W series, she's been there, and I love to see the work that she's doing as well. Also, you've got the likes of Sophia Flourish, which has been in F2 as well. She's like got a German background. She had a really terrible accident in Macau a couple of years ago where like she
Right, right.
dislocated her back. But then she trained and came back to competitive racing. So I just love her story. And I think a real OG, like who I'd love to see behind the wheel again, is Susie Wolf. I think if Susie
Oh
Wolf was like in F1 again, that would be awesome because she obviously did a lot of the testing with Williams when Claire Williams was there as well. Shout out another strong woman in F1, and we need more of those as well, to be honest. But yeah, just again to kind of see that power dynamic between her and Toto, and if she was one of the drivers on the grid as well, that'd be super cool. And again, she was super capable because I think she actually did karting with Brad, she did karting with Lewis, she did karting with the likes of Paul di Resta. So she's like I hold her up there as well with, the top guys at the end as well. And then in terms of the team, I would put them in. I think Gunter Steiner. I think Haas Gunter Steiner would be the perfect kind of team.
She would do well with them.
Yeah, because the thing I think with Haas as well is they would give the no matter that's why I respect Gunter Steiner for as well. As much as we were roasting Mazepin the entire 2021, like Gunter always stuck by Nikita and always tried to protect him and do right by him. Although sometimes you could argue he didn't deserve that level of like
Yeah, yeah.
treatment. So I think that would probably be the perfect environment for them because they're going to get the support of Gunter. They're going to get the support of Gene Haas. Haas are a very likable team, and I think now that they're away with the Russian oligarchs, the popularity is kind of
Yep.
returned back. And I think that would just be a feel good story too. To have a kick-ass female that could give like Kevin Magnussen or Mick even a run for their money. It would just be superb. I'd love that. And maybe one other driver I'll put up there as well is Tatiana Codron as well. She's in
Oh
IndyCar at the
yeah.
moment. But again, doing super well. She's driving up there with the guys, and she's just there, just doing business, which we love to see. But honestly, Nilly, there's so many of them. You got Naomi Schiff. She's obviously quite like established in racing as well, and you even got Danica Patrick again, another American, female race car driver, which is just sick. And I just love her insights as well when they have the special guests on F1, and she's there for the American races. So yeah, there's so many talented women, and it's such a travesty that the sport is ingrained in a lot of narcissism and misogyny and just there's no place for that, I think, in modern society. And I think as long as we continue to put pressure on the FIA, on FOM, on Liberty Media, on the likes of Stefano Dominicali, then I think we're going to achieve a lot of good things in the future.
This is true. And last question for you. What is your favorite track?
Oof. It's a tricky one, Nearly, because with the sim racing I do, like I have to drive different tracks every single week for the competitions I enter. So yeah, it's a tricky one, but yeah, I'd say favorite just has to be Silverstone for me because it's just such a badass, like classic circuit, high speed, high turns and corners. Like you see a lot of overtaking there as well. Obviously, it's the home of like the first ever Grand Prix as well. And even just in sim racing, I tend to do quite well there too because it just feels like home for me. I get a little home advantage, little one or two temps there as well. So yeah,
Totally.
I would say Silverstone has to be up there. The Nürburgring, shout out to Brad Philpott on this as well. I had to learn the entire Nürburgring, the whole like
Ooh,
24-hour layout,
oh
like
my gosh.
127 corners, which was quite mentally challenging
Oh
to,
my
to
gosh.
learn as well. So yeah, that's a good one. And let me think of one that's a bit out there, one that we don't race at anymore. Hockenheim.
Ah,
Again,
that's a good one.
Hockenheim. Yeah, just it always throws up just a bit of magic. And for me as well, I grew up kind of watching Hockenheim. Hockenheim wasn't the way it was now. Like there was a bit where I used to go in a forest, and yeah, just like it was just really cool back then. But we get awesome races no matter what it is at Hockenheim as well. So classic circuit there too. But I know this is about me. But what track would you pick as your favorite?
No, you can't do that. Because
Come
my
on.
I'm like, I'm not even thinking about it. I can't even think about it right now. It's like I'm like brain dead right now.
Oh gosh. Okay.
But I love Spa. I won't lie.
Classic,
Spa is
classic. And this
Spa
Eau
is-
Rouge as well, and the Overtake C up there. Some legendary move like takes as well. Like I think there's the Mika Hakkinen, Michael
yeah,
Schumacher, and Ricardo Santa. All three of them on the Camel Straight.
yeah.
Sensational. But yeah, it's a circuit with a bit of like unfortunate like history too, with
Yeah.
Anton Hubert a couple of years ago as well. Like yeah, and it's nice as well to see that they've not changed Eau Rouge in terms of the corner profile, but they've changed the runoff area. So if a car does make a mistake, it's not going to be as critical. Because I think even Jack Aiken, Williams reserve driver, had a pretty nasty crash there last year
That's
too.
right. He did. He did. He did.
So
Glad he recovered. So
yeah, so
that's it.
hey, oh, thank you. The questions are really
That's
good. Like, it's
that was
refreshing to be on the other side of the questions too, because with shipping the dipping, now I'm actually the interviewer. So yeah,
yeah,
those are really good questions, and shout
yeah.
out to everyone that put that together. So before we end the stream, I'm gonna go through all the questions that we missed. So let's see. There's a lot of them, but we love that. So Julian said he's a huge Audi fan. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Georgina said it would be great if new teams could come in without taking their. Yeah, totally. Uh, yep. Betsy, Jay, Betsy. I think that was in relation to what would you name the car? Betsy, like my mom names. We have like an old banger car outside as well that she wants to call a classic, and we just call it Old Betsy. So yeah, that's a
Oh,
relatable one.
Betsy.
When can I be a guest? We're gonna get you on soon, Mary. We need to. Like, we're gonna drop you a DM because we'll definitely have you on very soon. Julian said, Lady Isabel. Ooh, elegant. I love that, man.
That
It's
is
like
another
a
one.
it sounds like a kind of limited edition Maybach from Mercedes. The Lady Isabel Maybach Mercedes in stores now. But yeah, awesome. Let's see what else we have. Any day you want, you're most welcome, Mary. I second Georgina on that. I'll take Latifi's seat and be the next crush.
Yeah.
Georgina. Oh man, you're something
Anybody
else.
can do that.
Honestly, I don't think it'd be a hard yardstick to beat. So there's always that. Mary said, Georgina, thanks for letting me know. Yep, Julian saying low to Jorgy being the next Latifi, which she's so totally not, because Georgina's a woman of many talents, unlike Latifi. So yeah. Who else do we have? I would have got kicked out in the first race because I'm intentionally spinning certain drivers. Oh, listen, Jay, if you're thinking about the same drivers I'm thinking about, then yeah, we could run those agendas. Um, Denz hitting the big times. Hey, John. Hey, man. As I always say, I'm just a normal guy from North London, man. You
Oh,
guys are the
stop. You're
stars.
not normal. Stop.
Oh man, just it's you guys. You guys make the interactions. You guys make this community, and it just makes me proud that I know you guys. Because, from the bottom of my heart, you guys have changed my life. So thank you.
It's,
Mary said, "Big up Tandy." Don't know, big up Tandy, boss lady, and that she's the goat. Honestly, and I think I told Nyasha the other day about this, like my star strike. Like first time I met Tandy was like there's a rapper in the UK that met Nicki Minaj when he was a kid, and he's like, "Ah," like yeah, Tandy's amazing. I love her. So yeah, Boris, man, like Boris, not Boris Johnson though. What's up, man? I'm good, bro. I hope you're keeping well and you've been enjoying the content, man. Lovely to see you in here as well. Mary's bigging up Nyasha as well. Go. Denz, Gita and me are doing a space. Come and join, and Georgina if you can. I probably will, but I need to just grab some food after this because boy is hungry. And Georgina said, I'll drop a listen. If I am not there, then I'll
a lot of
definitely
private
fall asleep.
combos on here.
It really is. There really is.
Yeah.
Hey, the DRS zone's inside here as well, and I think they're saying Haas. Love to see Haas. Um, is that RJ, Rory, or Diplo? It could be any of them. It could be all three of them. You never know. Um, Chase Starship said Danica Patrick. Yeah. See, Jay knows Will. You need to join us on Twitter, though. I'm never gonna let you like off the hook until you join us on Twitter. So yeah.
Hmm.
No Danica Patra after comments back at Nico Rosberg, I'm guessing. I don't know what that's about, but sure that there's going to be some spiciness there. Mary said Sepang Dens. You see, I think Malaysia's a cool circuit, but Malaysia just always gives me nightmares because I just imagine Lewis Hamilton's, I think it was the W06 or 7. It's the one that broke down in a pool of like flames that year when Mercedes were being weird and changing over the mechanics, and Lewis engine like basically blew up around Malaysia. So yeah, cool circuit, but bad memories for sure. Um, hey, it's actually RJ, man. This guy is like a ghost. I can never catch him at the same time. So shout out Rhett Jackson, amazing guy.
He's always all over.
Yeah, man, he works hard. He works hard, but we love to see it. Jay said this was a great podcast. Well, listen, we're going to be doing more of these interactive streams, and that's going to segue into the final bit I'm going to say before I ask Nilly the final questions. DRS7 saying hi. Hey, JR Sim Racing, and guys, huge shout out to JR too because again he's always supported me with the sim racing thing. He's one of the fastest drivers in the community. So if you want to get good at sim racing, you need to subscribe to this guy. He's a legend, and really down to earth, really super guy too. So I can definitely shout out JR. No, even though he has a Manchester United logo, says not F1 related, but could you drop an ACC tutorial, dog? I was getting cooked at the weekend. So ACC is a simulator that's quite competitive. But yeah, I'd love to do it, bro. Just drop me a DM and we'll go through some setups and we'll chop it up. So Nearly, is there
Yes.
another comment? Yeah, pain. Yeah, Mary, pain. Don't want to talk about 2016 Malaysia. And Boris, what you smoking, lad? Big 44 fan, but that's not happening. Oh, he was in relation to JR. See, JR is famous. People in here just asking him for advice themselves. Love to see it. But yeah, Nilly, were there any final notes you wanted to say?
No, besides that, I'm happy that we did this because, I love everything that you always do. You always have a smile on your face, and I love it.
Aw,
You're a good one.
aw, thank you,
Good
Nilly.
one.
Well,
Yeah.
I just try and make you guys proud, because you, Georgina, obviously
Just
Natsumi,
overall, you're just
everyone.
overall, you've just been ever since I got on this whole community thing. You've always been a very optimistic person, and I love it.
Ah, thank you. Well, I've always said there's no point, in like being negative or dwelling on things that you can't change, and I think it makes it easier when you have like great people around you as well to
Yeah,
help you through rough times. And we're super understanding. No one in our circles like judgmental or snobby or anything like that. We're always looking out for each other's backs too and being super
totally.
supportive. So yeah, so no, I'm super glad to hear that, and it's always flattering when you guys say stuff like that as well, because it makes me want to be a better person and to work even harder on the things that I can improve or do better as well. So it's a blessing and an honor to have you guys. But Neely, more about you. Like, where can we find you if we need to connect with the queen of F1 Twitter? I'm back at it again.
What is my name on there? Oh yeah, Nilly Vanilli F1.
Hmm.
That's where I'm at.
Hey,
That is
and
where I'm at. I'm sure you won't miss me.
hey.
I am
Well,
right there.
I'm not gonna
So
miss you for the wrong reasons because honestly, you're one of the prominent figures in our community, and I'm here for it. So
you know,
I love that completely. And yeah, we'll definitely have Nilly on for a couple more, or in future for the live ones as well, because she's such a lovely personality to have for these.
I
And
would be
then,
happy to. So go get some
perfect.
food, Denz. Go get some food.
Thank you. No, I will shortly. But the final thing I'll say as well, guys, is thank you to everybody that tuned into this
Yes,
episode. It was great seeing so many familiar faces, some new faces as well. We love that. And guys, if you can do me a huge favor, could you please go and look at the link in the description of this video and subscribe to the Stripping the Dipping channel, because
that's
moving forward, we will be doing some audio only podcasts with maybe certain people, and where we can get guests to do the visual ones where we engage with the audience on StreamYards, then we're going to have them all on the Stripping the Dipping channel. So they're not going to be on my channel. I want to, with Georgina and with you guys, grow that channel, and I think it deserves it and it's warranted. So yeah, please, guys, if you could, please subscribe to that channel. If you know anybody that likes F1 content, please share out with them as well. And it's going to be really balanced too. Listen, this on my channel, so obviously this is more of a Team LH kind of thing. But we've spoken to Rebel Mechanics, shout out Engine Mode 11. We've had Dr. Obbs, which is a Rebel fan too, but incredibly knowledgeable. we've had like array of like loads of people from different communities, different teams, all in this thing as well.
It's healthy. It's healthy.
And it's good to have a balance because when you hear stuff from other people, it opens your mind to things in such a different way. And we're all here to listen. That's such a key thing too. You learn so much from listening, and a good listener makes a good learner, as my mom would say. So
Totally.
yeah. So Nilly, thank you so much for being on this one, guys in the chat. Thank you so much, and good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world tuning in. Thank
Exactly.
you. And yeah, we are gonna see you in Miami next time. But until then, peace and love, prosperity, success, health, all the good things in life.
All
Until
right.
then, take it easy, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Whew.